Hey guys, what's going on? It's your girl Ash. Welcome to the Ash X podcast. What's up, guys? Welcome to the inside of my Airbnb kitchen. Today, we're going to be taking this episode here because your girl has nowhere else to put the freaking tripod up. So this is where we're doing it. I'm literally using my charger as a tripod, so this is what we're doing. Okay, so we have on someone very special today, as usual, but this person in particular, his name is Dillon, also known as Moonlander Music. It's super ironic because like in 2013, I remember him in my dorm. He was like sitting in my dorm and he was like, I'm gonna make it really big in my music career. And he's like, I know I'm gonna do it. Like I'm gonna perform on a big stage one day. And I looked at him and I was like, he said it to me with such will and determination that I knew that he was gonna do it. But it's just crazy because now he's performing at these major music festivals like Breakway Music Festival. And I mean, in his album, this new upcoming one that he has coming up, it's called Most Likely to Never Be Famous. He talks about how in high school, so many people doubted him and things have come full circle because now they're like hitting him up left and right. And it's just crazy how things work because it's like, you can literally do whatever you want in this life and you put yourself out there. Like, let's say, you're in high school, like, I'm gonna do this. And you set yourself out on a mission. And obviously it takes evolution, right? Like you're not just gonna create this amazing music, but in his new album, I've listened to it, his tracks are insane. And he's just waiting on the best day to just release that thing, which he said will probably be at some point in the next 6 months. Whenever he has like some more like gigs coming up and stuff like that. So I'm super excited for him. We also talked about mental health, and obviously mental health is super important, but he maintains a very positive outlook on his life, which is why he was explaining to me that he never really feels depressed. Me, on the other hand, I have a very positive outlook, I would say, but I definitely think that I strive towards that a lot because obviously there's some days where I wake up and like I actually feel depressed, but I have to get myself in a different mindset. I have to be like, Ash, switch it off. Like you're doing this because if you feel low and you want to make yourself like experience those low feelings, but if you feel low and you just sit there and you mope in it and you let it take over your day and you end up doing nothing, it's like you can't just let that dictate your life and make yourself feel unmotivated. So you have to push yourself. You have to push yourself to feel better, whether that's working out. That's one outlet that I always use. It's amazing. Whether it's eating right, I use that a lot too. But if I don't do that, if I don't journal, if I don't eat right, like I start to notice that I become a different version of myself that I don't love and I don't even recognize, to be honest. So super important to have a positive outlook. And I think you guys are really gonna enjoy this episode as much as I did creating it. How are you?
I'm amazing. What's up with you? Where are you right now? It looks like a vibe there.
Yeah, so I'm actually in Colombia, which is absolutely crazy. I came here a few months ago with some friends, and I just like fell in love with it and stayed an extra month.
Is it just like an extreme vibe? Like what's so, I mean, obviously you left the city, yeah, to go here?
I did. So like I'm not in New York City right now. I actually have someone who is subletting my apartment there. But here, yeah, it's awesome. Like I've met so many people and it's like it's not even people just from Colombia. It's like all over.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you want to live there longer?
So after this month, I'm gonna go back home, but I can definitely see myself like coming back here in the next year because I love it so much.
Sick. Do you do anything on TikTok yet or no?
No, I need to. I feel like I still haven't fully figured TikTok out. Like I haven't actually sat there and like used it.
Yeah. I mean, the thing with TikTok, obviously you've probably seen me doing the craziest stuff on there, but it's just like, it's kind of,
I have. I'm honestly not really on it much, to be
you don't see me. I mean, either way, I've been doing like every day traveling somewhere new. And so like,
that's cool.
The last 25 days, I've been like in a different state, a different country, and like I just go there and sing my song. So
wait, that's so cool. Wait, so where have you been for the past 25 days?
I started in Charlotte here. I went to like the Motor Speedway, so I was like the middle of the track. Then I went to Chicago, went to New York, Went to
Okay.
like the middle of the ocean, like on like a buoy. I'm like floating around. I went to Paris, London.
Actually, I think I did. Did you put this on your Instagram? Actually, I did see this. I don't know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah, yeah.
thinking.
So
I,
it's
I did see this. Yeah.
on IG too, but yeah, so
Yeah.
that's what I've been doing just because like this day and age, like TikTok can like literally like I mean it runs everything. And especially that's why I asked if you were doing like TikTok stuff because like I could see you like really blooming like in TikTok, just like even taking like you watch your interviews back over and you're like, I think this is cool. Like people would like to hear this, like motivational stuff or like anything like that. You know
Just
what I'm
like a
saying?
snippet or something and like
Yeah.
talking over it or whatever it is. Yeah.
You literally cut like if you ask me a question, like you're like, oh, what motivates you or something, you could like cut you to like an iPhone size. And then I would if I had something like super motivational, I'm like, I did this, you'd be like, put it in there, do a 10-second video and people like would connect with it, I feel like. And I feel like you're already like a good talker and like you already have like a great like
Yeah.
podcast voice, you know?
Yeah.
It just
Mm,
feels right. I feel like that you would like strive on it.
thank you. I really appreciate that.
That move.
Honestly, you're not the first person to say that. Like people
Hey,
recently told me about TikTok, and I was like, I feel like I should get on there. I just haven't.
it's I think like me and your like generation, we're so like we feel like older than that. You know, we're like, oh, we don't do that. Like we're like IG, Twitter, like that's
Instagram
us.
only, 100%. Even though it's like, okay, like you need to start getting
Ah,
into these other types of technology. Like it's yeah, you can't stay in the past.
so yeah, you would strive with it. And again, I see people like one dude literally started making TikToks where he's like sitting on his couch and he's like, if you like this song, and he'll play like a popular song, he'll be like, then you'll like this song. And literally he got invited to the Grammys. So like it's just like you can just start doing like the smallest stuff and you're like in the scene of like the music stuff.
That's such a good idea. Do you post every day or no?
Yeah.
You do.
I used to fight TikTok so like long. I was like, I'm not doing this. Like it's so stupid. Like
Yeah.
I was like,
That's kind of how that's the point that I was at. Yeah,
yeah,
I
I'm
still
like,
think that.
I'm an artist. Like I'm not a TikToker. Like I don't want to do this. But like you just complain about it, nothing's gonna happen. Like there's people that literally post one TikTok and they're 10 times bigger than you in 24 seconds. Like you got to just get with
100%.
the times. So
You got to just freaking do it. No,
you
totally.
do like I could see you like being like a backstage like podcaster too, like going like backstage like and like interviewing people like before they go on or something would be sick.
I actually have done that before. Yeah, one of my first interviews I did. So I didn't air that, but yes, I love that idea. Like, do you know what Insomniac is?
Is that a festival?
They're the company that runs like EDC Las Vegas, like all the EDCs and
Okay, yeah, yeah. Then yeah, okay.
um yeah, like my goal, I would say like in the next like 5 years, I would love to be like involved with Insomniac and just basically like even have my own booth there and just like interview like all the different artists.
See, and I think that's where like you could come in like again with the TikTok thing, like people would just invite you. Like you wouldn't even have to ask. Like if you like start using this TikTok stuff, like people want TikTok people, they'll give you a free pass just to like come in and do stuff to like put their stuff on TikTok.
I'll try this out.
I'm like signed by this festival. They're called Prime Social Group, and they put on like 10 festivals a year. They're called Breakaway Music Fest. They have one in Charlotte, Kansas City, Grand Rapids, San
I've
Diego.
heard about Breakway Fest.
Yeah, yeah. So they just have a whole like team that they'll just let like any influencer basically like a free ticket or like whatever they need just to like come and like make content while they're out there, you know?
That's so cool. That would be that would be a really interesting thing to like check out too. Like, because I feel like there's literally so many different avenues that you can go down. And to be honest, there's not many people interviewing music artists.
No,
Like, there's not.
get right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I know. I just have to like.
Your time to shine. This is your time to shine.
You're so funny. It's crazy that you're doing this too, because I have to be honest, like I remember we were in like, my dorm room. And I
Yeah.
remember you were showing me your stuff and you're like, I'm gonna make it. Like, I'm gonna be a music artist. And I was like, yes, you are. But I could hear it in your voice. There was no
Like your music, no, you aren't, but yes, you are. Like at the time, it wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? You're like, maybe not, but yes.
No, but you had it in you. And like, I mean, you have a great voice, honestly. And I remember listening and I was like, I could see you getting big. Like, I feel like just the way that you handled yourself, like there, you were like, I'm going to do it. I don't care what anyone says. I'm going to do it. And I feel like most people, when they talk like that, they end up doing it.
I don't know. I mean, I've just been doing this since I was 13, and like just like the fact that like when I started was like bad, like I was really like obviously like it's like riding a bike. You don't know how to ride a bike yet. Like I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this. I wasn't born with like musical abilities. I wasn't like I feel like some people are just born to be like amazing singers. You know, they pop out and it's like they're Beyonce. They're like, oh, you're like, oh
Yeah,
my
you're like,
god, like
wow. Yeah.
so good. Like for me, it wasn't like that. So it was like a bunch of years coming, but I get like discouraged sometimes, but also like you just got to look back. Like my like 13-year-old self would look at me now and be like, or even people that are like doing music now look at me and they're like, how do you do this stuff? So it's like, it's the small stuff like that. That's like, you never got to give up. And I just feel like it's pretty kind of like easy. Obviously it's hard, but like you can't lose if you don't give up, you know?
You can't. And that's the thing. You can never, I love that quote. So you can never fail if you don't give up.
Yeah.
Just keep trying. And the thing is that eventually over time, you're going to get better. And like, even the stuff that you're doing now, I'm sure like years from now, like you're going to look back, like same thing for me, like what I'm putting out now, like in another 5 years, I'm going to look back and be like, wow, like I've just grown so much.
Yeah. I'm like the biggest critic of myself. Like I won't even watch this podcast afterwards because I'll be like, oh, I'm so cringe. Like I won't even look at my like
I kind of hate watching myself back. I'm like, why did you say
I,
that?
I just live in the moment and then like it happened, I can't change it type thing. So like keep it good.
I know. It's so funny. So I know you have this new album coming out, right?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows
Do you
when?
know, do you know when you're going to be releasing it?
No. So basically right now, I kind of went in like the top of the year. I was supposed to have like this huge like tour, right? So I had like
Mhm.
36 shows I was gonna be on with this like big singer and then the rapper. So I was like doing two different tours. And the first dude, they basically like forgot that they told us in October that we were on it. So then like the whole like October, like me and my team, like we're preparing for it. We're like getting the merch ready. We're what songs are we gonna do? Or what do we have to have by this? And then we're waiting on like the flyer to come. They're like, oh my God, we're so sorry. Like, we're like, what?
Okay,
So
wait. And they can't just cut you in. That's so annoying.
no, because they already had like three other openers and like they posted the flyer and we were like, where's our name? And then we hit them up. They're like, oh my God, we totally forgot. We told you that. We're like, what?
And they didn't do anything about it.
No, they're just like, we owe you one.
Bye. Never again.
That hurt. But then we were like, oh, we're good. Like we still have like 20 other ones with this rapper. And then the rapper dude, he hit us back and was like, hey, yo, sorry. Like we know we said yes, but he actually promised his boy like he would come on. We didn't talk to him first. So like we're gonna have to exclude you. So we went from like 36 shows to four shows. And so my brother like even like bought an RV like for like us to have and stuff because we were just like spending so much money on like hotels and stuff. He was like, we'll just get an RV. Like the money we spend on hotels, we can just make the payments like to the RV. Like it's gonna be less. So we're like, okay, got an RV, didn't get to
Wait,
use
are
it.
you in an RV right now?
No, I'm in my studio room. This is at my
Okay,
house.
cool. I was like, this is awesome. I was like, but this
Hey,
would be even cooler if you were actually in an RV.
welcome to my RV. So then I was like very upset. I'm like, wow, like, cause I find like I'm like the most happy on tour, like on stage every night. Like that's where like it's just so much fun to be like with my friends, new city. It's never like something you can plan. Just like whatever happens that day is like it's something new every day. I think that's like so fun. And so I was at the house. I was like, all right, well, I'm about to just go into like album mode. So me and my producer, his name's Omido. He's shout out to him. Um, Me and him just worked like 12 hours every day on Zoom, just like this. And he would have his computer up. I'd be in here. We'd be making beats and stuff. I made this album in like 1 month. And I was like, I
Made
just need,
this album in one whole month.
yeah, just a month. Like I just went like crazy mode. I don't do anything but music. So I don't have like another job or anything. So I wake up and I just come in here and it's kind of like, I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, he lives the life, but it's like, I'm actually like a loser that just stays at home every day. And the only time I leave is to go to the gym. So
And you're just like grinding it out with
yeah.
music. That's so cool.
So I made the album in a month, went to my like team and I was like, look, I don't even want to put this out until like I know it's gonna get like more like love, like to be bigger, obviously. So I was like, I don't even care. Let's just go the label route. Like, I kind of want some help. Like anyone that you see that's like super big has that label. Like I know every artist is like, oh, go the independent route. Like they'll take your money and stuff. But like the thing for me is I'm not like money doesn't like drive me. Just like being able to one like have a huge like audience and also being able to tour like that is what drives me. Like so
That's what you care about more. 100%.
money
Yeah.
the money's gonna come. That's never a question. And it pays my bills now, but it's still like every dollar I get, I put back into music. So it's not like I'm over here like with the fattest pockets right now. You know what I'm saying? I just put
Mhm.
it back in. So
Completely. I think a record label would help because like
yeah.
they can set up all the shows and stuff like that too. And
And they just have it like I want to have like I already have like plans. Like I have specifically like one song where I'm like, I want 2 Chainz on that song. Like I just hear like I feel like 2 Chainz has been like swept away a little bit. Like when have you heard like 2 Chainz recently, like on a poppin' song? Like I
yeah,
just feel like
no, haven't.
yeah, I feel like if I could get him on this one song I have, that it would just be like the rebirth of
So
like Two
how,
Chainz.
so how does that work? Will your manager reach out directly or like are you how are you involved in that process?
So in like the label world, the labels can literally just hit him up and like either they just pay him or they'll just like they already work with them and they'll just do it, you know? Or
Yeah.
like that big, you could just like you have like shares of the song. So anything the song makes, like you're making money off of it.
So right now your goal is to get signed with a record label.
Yeah.
Then you can go down the route of like, teaming up with like 2 Chains or someone like that, who's
Yeah.
like a rapper who's
I just
got it.
want like I have like such a unique brand and I've been branding it like on my own. And I just know like a label can take me to that next step. Like I want to have like real music videos. Like I can like shoot music videos by myself and stuff. But like at the end of the day, yeah, it's cool, but it's not like I want it to look like a movie. Like I want it to be like, oh, like I want to be like in a rocket ship, like about to lift off. And it looks
Oh, that's so
like
cool.
interstellar, you
And
know,
I
like
could I could definitely see that like with your branding 100%. Oh, that's so cool.
so basically I have this album. Uh, I'm holding on to it until I can get a label deal, but I also like still every day that I'm not on this 25-day journey, I'm just making songs. So I'm gonna have a song coming out every month that's not on the album until I do the label deal with the album, and then the album will come out.
You'll drop it after that, and that totally makes sense because then at that point, like you were saying, like you'll have a larger audience, or they might even be able to push it out in a way that right
Yeah.
now you
I
won't be
mean,
able to.
labels have every connect to every like Spotify playlist. So it's like within a
Mhm.
snap, you're like on 20 playlists. They're like, oh, you're done. You're like, oh, it's that easy. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't really matter about like the music. Like so many people don't understand. Like there's a million people that make music, and like out of the million, what like 100,000 of it's good. Like music is like subjective. Like people like like someone I
People do
think
like bad music.
yeah, like
Yeah,
someone I think is bad. Someone's like that's my favorite artist of
it's
all
my
time.
favorite song.
Yeah.
It's so true.
So I don't think there's like I think the labels understand that too. Like it doesn't matter if you like it. Like there's like a genre for it, and there's like an avenue. Like
Hmm.
really like screamo. I don't understand how people can hear like screaming,
I
but
cannot deal with
rage
that
to it.
music.
People rage to it.
Like, no offense to anyone who likes that. And also, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really a huge fan of country either.
Country's not my lane, but I can understand why you like it. But yeah, I don't think I've listened to a country song in a very
But
long
you're right.
time.
It's subjective, right? Like
Yeah.
people have different favorites. It's EDM, rap, whatever it is. And yeah, for someone like for one person, they could love that song and like you might hate it.
Like even like I think this is like such a cool story. Like my friend, his name's Eric Insulin. He has like Down syndrome. I don't know if you saw him, but he went like super viral on TikTok and his song's like 4 times platinum. And he just dropped a
Not
song,
seen it.
went it went crazy over like he had like 5 million monthly listeners and stuff. And it's like
Wow.
just something like that. Like
So cool.
like it
What's it
just shows like
called?
just it's called his name's Eric Arik.
A, what did you say it was? A-R-I-K?
Arik.
Okay.
Yeah, check it out. He's dope. I brought him on during my tour in the fall. I let him come on like 3 shows and he came out on stage with me and like people just went crazy.
Oh my gosh.
That was sick.
Wow. And he's one of your friends?
Yeah, yeah. I found
That's
him on TikTok during COVID. I was just like sitting in the bathtub. I'm always sitting in the bathtub. It's like where I do my work. But
awesome.
I saw him. I was like,
Creative place.
no, that's literally I'm in the bathtub probably like 2 hours a day. No, and I'm on a weird thing. But that's where I just am like on my phone. I'm always sending like emails and stuff, or I'll just go on TikTok because like TikTok is like where I feel like it's the new like news. Like I don't go watch the news. Like if something's like big enough to like be heard, it will be on TikTok. I feel like, you
Mhm.
know. But yeah,
Yeah,
it just
I need
popped
to get
up.
into it more, really.
You don't even have the app.
I have the app and I've posted things on there before, but like I probably haven't posted since like summer. And I
I
think
like
I've
how you
posted
look like you're
like
telling a
four
secret.
things.
You're like, listen, I do have the app. Don't tell anyone. I don't go on
I
it.
don't go on it. I feel like I I don't know. I need to figure it out.
You
I
need
need
to
to
get
spend some time,
start
sit down.
watching it, and you'll actually start getting addicted to it, and it'll become part of your day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I've heard.
Oh yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, regarding your album, I had a chance to listen to it and I loved it. Like there was a few songs on there. Oh my God, so good.
I like that. Thank you.
Like a few of my favorites, they were like Head Over Heels, and it was like the
Oh, you
other
like
one was like
feels?
Fuck You Mean. Like both
Yeah.
those. Oh my God, love them.
Wow. Thanks.
Yeah, like
Feels like that was like a sleeper. I was like, I didn't know if I was gonna put it on. I was like, I think this is probably one of the like we had to. At one point, we were gonna cut to 8 songs, and I was like, Head Over Heels is probably gonna say like they're gonna want to cut that.
really, I liked it a lot.
I
Like
love that.
I
I actually
both
like it too. It's one of my favorites. But
of them.
I'm like, I don't know. This one's pretty good to me.
Oh my gosh. Well, again, there's some songs that some
I
people
know.
are gonna resonate with, and then other ones that they're just not.
It's
And it's
crazy.
not that it's not good. It's just maybe it just doesn't hit home for
Yeah,
them.
I know. That's sick though. I'm glad you said that. That's my friends will enjoy that. They love that.
um, so I want to ask you, like, was there ever a particular like event or time that acted as a catalyst to drive your musical career?
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot, Ash.
Great question.
Okay, great question. Thank you for that. I feel like there was like 2 moments I can remember that were like crazy. So one was when I was like 14. I was on a mission trip in New York City, right, with like my church. And we were just
Okay.
there like just like helping like organizations, like nonprofits and stuff. Like one was like helping this girl with her garden in New York. One was like an after school program for kids. Like, I don't know. I don't want to make stuff up. So, stuff like that,
Stuff like that. Yes. Yes. I've been on one of those trips before. Yeah.
yeah. So I remember I just dropped like my first mixtape ever. It was called Lost. And it's like I'm like a little kid. My album cover is like I'm like disappearing. Like it's real. Let me see if I have a picture. I'll show you real quick because it's pretty
I
good.
remember the album. I do.
All that? Okay. So
When
really,
was that? Like 20? That must have been a long time ago.
yeah, it was, yeah. I don't,
2014, 15?
yeah, 2014. That sounds right. So I just put it out. I remember all like, even like, it was like these girls that were like on the trip and they were like bumping it, right? Bumping it is like the key word. It was more like making fun of it, right? And I was like, man, like, whatever. Like, they're going to see, right?
And they were saying it like in front of you.
Yeah. And they're like laughing and stuff. And I was like, whatever. Like, so I remember we had like a prayer time, right? Where it's like your daily, like everyone like go pray, like be with God, like by yourself. And I remember I like closed my eyes and like this is I don't know, I always feel weird telling it because I feel like it's like so a weird story, but like I closed my eyes and I like almost like teleported, like literally like where I could see like my eyes were shut, but I was somewhere else. But like I could see it, right? It wasn't like obviously I closed my eyes, I'm looking at darkness. But and I just see myself like on stage and there was like no music, there was no one in the audience, and there was just like these yellow lights, and it was kind of like I was like a silhouette. It was like I was like slow-mo, like jumping up and down, like just like doing my thing by myself, like just being on like a stage. It was almost like a grand like music hall or something, like a theater, right?
Yeah.
And it was like I like traveled there and I like opened my eyes and like time went like by. Like it was like 15 minutes later and like we were like talking again, like the pastor guy, and I was like, wow. Like I took that as like obviously from I was like, this is what I'm supposed to do. Like this is it right here. And at the time, obviously I didn't have like the music. My music was not speaking for itself, right? So that was one other time. Flash forward, I got on this show with this dude named Mike. His name's just Mike now. You heard of him? It was
No, not
Mike
heard of
Stud before. Maybe not.
him.
Anyways, he's like a big artist right now. And we got to like open for one of his shows and we're at Cleveland. And I was like, I probably had like 100 monthly listeners on Spotify, right? Like super whatever. We were performing at the House of Blues, which like, have you heard of the House of Blues?
Mhm. Yeah, I have.
That's
Yes.
like a super like I remember seeing House of Blues and Freaky Friday, the movie, and was like, oh, House of Blues, like so sick. And we performed probably it was my biggest show ever. I've only performed like twice before that. And so I'm on this stage and there's like 1,500 people and I'm like singing my songs that like people back at home would like make fun of, right? And I'm singing them, but literally there's not one person not like jumping up and down with me, right? And I remember just like that moment of time looking out and being like, fuck, fuck everyone back at home. Like they're all making fun of me. Everyone in this room like doesn't know me and they love it. Like there's not one person that's not loving it. And I feel like that just opened my eyes to be like, I felt like I was maybe like locked in my town of like negative and naysayers or people that didn't want me to be like what I said I would be. And it was like I got to like truly see like I can do whatever I want. And again, like what is music subjective? Like these people loved it.
Oh, yeah. And like,
Like two like big,
yeah.
I would say.
No, that's such an incredible story because I feel like I don't know. I feel like everyone from like your own town is always going to judge you. That sounds so weird. I don't know why they do it. I think maybe it's because I've known you since you were so young. And
Yeah.
like them seeing you as anything other than you are as they know you is weird.
Yeah.
So, like that's why they talk shit. But like actually like you got to do what you have to do. And it's crazy because one day and probably now like they're looking back and being like, damn, like I wonder why I judged him so bad because like he really is good.
It's funny because I feel like I used to always like as like a little kid, I was like, I'm gonna prove like my everyone wrong, like in high school, like, and that's kind
Mhm.
of why I made the album I see that's called Most Likely to Never Be Famous. Is like I felt like everyone was like, nah. Like I did there was like a most likely to be famous on the yearbook, and I didn't even get like nominated for it. And I was like the only kid in our class like that made music. So it was like
Really?
they just nominated some dude that like played guitar sometimes and like didn't even make songs. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
what?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I always wanted to prove like everyone in my high school wrong, but I feel like now like that's already been done. Like and everyone like just the way like my DMs have been full of like long paragraph messages from people in high school, like, yo, I'm so like, and they'll have like a specific time that they remember. Like, I remember when we were at lunch at this day and I laughed in front of your face and told you like you were so bad. Or like one girl's like, I remember
See,
when I told you to never like make music. Like, literally, so many people come flying to me with like a specific story where they were like, I just want to say I'm so sorry. Like, I'm really sorry.
oh my
So,
God. Wait, that's actually really incredible too, because you know what? I think that shows you that like people, when they do something like that, like it never leaves you.
yeah, it kind of
It
eats
never,
it a little bit. It's like, ooh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. And now
I,
they're probably
what
like,
did I do?
damn. Like, and here's the other thing, like I'm sure you probably experienced the other side of the coin where like people are saying that too because they want to be close to you now.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they want to ride the train all the way up.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's just like a great. I mean, it's it's nice to see things that like I said would happen come true. Obviously, like
Mhm.
I did kind of at one point, like I feel like I strive off like being doubted. Like I was doubted by them. I already proved. I'm like I said, I've proved everyone wrong. Now I feel like I'm doubted in like the music industry, like bigger
Whatever
people
it is,
up.
yeah.
Like, yeah, like I feel like I'm doubted. So it's like I kind of strive off of it because it makes me want to be like, oh, I'm gonna show you. Like, you know what
I'm
I'm
gonna
saying?
prove you wrong. I'm gonna prove you wrong. Yeah, well, I mean, if you've done that in the past too, like I would just use it as an advantage, right? Like use as an advantage to just push yourself even farther.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you start to do when you start feeling burned out? And has spirituality ever played a role in helping you feel like you're not?
Like I said, one thing about me is like I feel like I already went through like the hardest parts of like people not believing in me, like my parents telling me like don't do it, like you're not it. Like I went through that. I feel like I already punched through like every wall of like the worst, like but I feel like my own parents saying like, look, you're not good is like a hard wall to like be like,
Yeah,
oh,
to overcome. Oh my gosh, yeah. Very hard.
like now like I'm getting more discouraged off like numbers right now, like because everyone in the industry they only look at your numbers. They're like, there's literally like I can name you
You mean like listens and like things like that, or like
yeah,
analytics over
like
time, like whatever. Yeah.
more like my Spotify. Like I could name probably 40 artists right now that have over 6 million monthly listens, and I get more comments than them on my Instagram than they get comments on theirs. So it's like I have a smaller like listening crowd, but everyone that listens is like a true like connected with me, like with me as like a supporter type, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because they're
Like
like engaging on your stuff too.
yeah,
Yeah.
versus like these big artists, like a lot of people are just known for their music. They're not known like you don't care like what they're doing. You're just like, oh, I like their song. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you know,
Hmm.
maybe like a song or two, but you don't care to like be a fan. I feel like that's kind of how it is.
Yeah, there's because here's the thing, I feel like the music industry can be very saturated at times. So in order for you to like to feel super loyal to an artist
Yeah.
is like you have to feel very, very connected to them. It can't just be like one or two songs that you listen to, like, because
I mean,
sometimes there's a few that you'll continue to listen to, but that's different than like being actually like a loyal fan.
I know you could probably say the same, and even me too. Is like I probably have over 100 artists on my Spotify playlist that like I'm not a fan of, but I love that song. You know what I'm saying? Like you're
Yes.
not like, oh, are they about to drop a new song? Like you're just kind of like, I like this song and that's it.
100%. Yeah. No, I can definitely speak to that. And honestly, there's like, I don't know. I like it's hard because they're like those songs are on there for a reason, right? Because like
Yeah.
when you're in a certain mood or whatever it is, like you just feel like listening to it, you put it on. Um, but yeah, I like on it, I feel like for you, your best bet is getting into a lot of these festivals, like a lot of these like big festivals, because I feel like it's super easy for someone to just come over. Like that's what I do. I'll go over to different stages of artists I've never heard of, or
Yeah.
if I have. Um, and that's how I found out about new music.
Yeah. I love that too because I mean, I'm booked for like 10 festivals. So I'm doing 3 of the breakaways and then there's like 6 of this other one. It's called Blended. I think there might be a
Breakway is really big. That's awesome.
one. So, are you going to be back in New York? Is that like your plan?
Yes, I am.
All right, well then you can slide to the New York one.
So when is the New York one? I didn't
We
even realize that Breakaway
go
was in New York.
backstage interview.
Oh my god, let's go! Let's
Full
go! Let's go!
circle. That's full circle.
Let's go! Yes,
They
wait.
haven't they haven't
I'm
announced
looking
it yet. But
right now. Let's see.
it hasn't announced, I don't think yet, but I'm sure they haven't dropped any of their dates yet.
Interesting.
Like,
Um,
or not this week. They said by the end of this month they were gonna drop.
very cool. Well, you'll have to keep me posted.
But yeah, about the discouraged thing. I get discouraged all the time, but it's never like it's just more of like kind of like some days you wake up like happy, some days you wake up sad. Like it doesn't change my outcome. It doesn't say like I'm not like, oh, I'm sad, like I'm gonna give up today. Like it's never that. It's just like I kind of just take it as like today's just gonna be one of those days, and then the next day we're back up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. That's That's exactly what I do. And I don't know, like, do you ever have like a routine or like a few things that you do on days like that to make yourself feel better?
Baths, baths.
Yes.
You're
I
like,
haven't yet.
I don't know. I really crave like one work. I don't know. I love like a little bit of working out, and then I love to hit the sauna, like sweat it out. I always feel great with that. And then if I'm ever like in a funk or like something just happened where like I get in a bad vibe, I literally just go like I don't even take a bath. I just sit in the shower and I let the shower like run, and then it
Mhm.
like
I do that
it
too.
steams up the room, and it's kind of like my own like steam room. So that's what I when I'm in the bath, it's like that. I'm not just sitting in the water, but
Mm.
I don't know. For me, that's like it just like it's like a reset, and then I get to go in there because then I don't have to talk to anyone. I can just like be with myself, and it's like a little like meditation time almost. I mean, I'm on my phone doing stuff still, but I don't know why that's like my thing. I just love it.
Yeah, no, that's so cool. That's awesome. I mean, it's basically like a meditation, right? You're sitting there and you're relaxing. Yeah. Like you need time just to unwind on those days.
Sometimes it's just good to not like have to like think about anything. You can just chill,
Mhm.
observe.
Um, I this is kind of like, you know, a weird question, but have you ever battled with depression before?
I want to say no, only because
That's
I don't know.
awesome.
I definitely get like sad for sure. Like even like very discouraged about like something like for me with my music, like anything I do, I treat it as like, oh, this is it. Like this is what's gonna be that thing that like gets me there. So it's like when it doesn't, I get very like discouraged and sad, but I don't know. I don't want to compare it to like an actual like
Straight, like actually be
truth.
depressed.
Yeah, yeah. So that is my form of like depressed, but I don't wouldn't categorize it to I don't know. I see people that are like really going through it. I'm like,
Yeah. And
hey,
that's also subjective too, because you know what's so weird? Like, how do you measure someone's happiness or depression?
yeah,
Like, it's so
exactly.
hard. Like, I mean, you don't know what from one person to the next person actually feels like.
Yeah.
Or someone could feel like super low, but they're just handling it better and like not,
See,
I
I
don't know,
think
not
my thing
making
is
you
I just know
feel
how to
that.
like I feel like I just know how to handle it. Like obviously I'm very lucky, but like I just have a great like mindset on things where like I'm
Yeah.
very good with the flow. Like if something happens, like I don't fight it. It's just like it's meant to be type, like if I go outside and my tires pop, like that was just meant to be. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, stupid
Yeah, yeah,
tire.
yeah. Like let it ruin your whole day and then like roll into, yeah, 100% roll into like making music or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just try to look at everything like positively. Like, hey, you never know. Maybe those tires that pop saved you from getting into a wreck when you were gonna drive. You know what I'm saying? So it's like try to look at it like that.
Yeah. Hmm. That's a really good way to look at it. Yeah.
I like that. That's a
Yeah. um, what would you say you're grateful for?
hmm.
Great question.
Great. Another great one. Wow. Wow, you really got me thinking. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but
No, we'll cut the noise
I
or
would
the
say honestly, and this might be like a very cocky like answer, but like just going off like mindsets, like I'm like grateful to know like what my purpose is and like not letting anything like take me off that track in a sense where like you said, like if bad stuff happens, I'm not like, oh, this is it. Like it's like you just gets like pushed away. It's like one of like 1,000 things that have happened. And also I'm grateful for my friends because I have a great team that like it took a while, I feel like, to like open everyone's eyes. Obviously, like we started in high school together. So they were there from the real jump. And then to see like them change with me to like open up their eyes. Like one thing I want to be for everyone is like to show that you can do literally like whatever you want and to not like don't settle like I've had over like 17 like dumb jobs, right? Like lifeguard,
Mhm.
Amazon driver, like whatever, like literally the dumbest jobs. And I would wake up every day and like hate myself and like wake up so tired. I'm like, this, like, I hate it. And like, I just want to show people like it doesn't really matter. Just don't do that stuff. Like you literally have a choice. Everyone has one life. It's not going to be the easiest thing, obviously, like financially wise and stuff. But at the end of the day, don't do something that's like terrible and know like what your worth is. Like these corporations that are like that don't give a shit or anything about you. Literally, you die, they're not going to say anything. They're just going to get somebody new. You know, like
They replace you. It's like, oh, you're
yeah,
gone. Next
but yeah,
person.
you're going to give them your whole life. So
It's so
that's
true.
that's one thing. Like I'm appreciative. Like my friends, like it took a while for me to like open their eyes a little bit to just be like, look, like just live life. Like we're living life. Like right now, like even though we're not where we want to be, like we're still every day getting to do things that we dreamed of and that people are dreaming of and that they wish they had. So,
Oh my God. I feel like I'm gonna get emotional. Like that's
oh, snap.
so, no,
Oh,
it's so beautiful. Cause like, it's so true. Like, I feel like most people don't even, it's like it's like they're living, but they haven't even woken up yet.
yeah. Have you seen the movie Free Guy?
What is it called?
Free Guy. It's with Ryan Reynolds.
No. Although I love Ryan Reynolds. Maybe I should
All
watch
right.
it.
So you need to watch that after this, but
Free
it's
Guy.
basically like when I watched it, I was like, oh, this is deep. It's like a fun movie of like this dude who's like, he's actually like imagine like GTA, you know, GTA?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do.
And he's like a character in the GTA, just like a robotic character, right? That like, you know, when you see the people on the sidewalk, so you could like go up and punch and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like one of those, except like he starts like becoming like a real person. Like he has like feelings and stuff. And basically, like every player, like if you're like a player, they all wear like glasses. So he eventually gets these glasses, and when he puts them on, he sees that like he's in like a video game. And there's like a part where like his best friend, who's like a bank robot guy as well, he's like, bro, put on the glasses, put on the glasses. And he's like, I just can't. I can't. He's like, I promise you, you'll see the world. And he's like, I can't. And he's like too scared to put on the glasses. And it's like kind of like how the world is now is like everyone feels like they can't do something. Like they can't, like there's an obstacle holding the way, but the only obstacle is you. Like just do it. And there's going to be a consequence, and it's not going to be the easiest thing, but like put on the glasses, you know, like and
Yeah,
see
but
life. Yeah.
that's so
So
cute. No,
yeah, you
it's so
like it. Watch
cute.
it.
It's so true. It's like most people like they're too afraid or they just follow the path that it's like your parents told you to do
Yeah.
or like
Or just your
it's like the
teacher.
easiest thing. Yeah.
It's sad. I mean, I see all these people and it's like,
It's so
if you
sad.
have to wake up and you're upset that you're doing something, like it just needs to end. Like just stop.
Yeah. I
And I know
like yeah, 100%.
probably like, oh, I have this, like I have to pay for that. And it's like, yeah, that's true. But also like I found like when I put myself in a situation like to be like, I either have this, I either need to do this, or I'm gonna be like, I have no other option is like when you like actually like, all right, I need to work. And it's like that's when you like push yourself, I think the most is like when you
Even
have no
farther.
option. Yeah. You give yourself like a dilemma.
I think it's so important to like put yourself in a situation where you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
one thing I've always done is like if I feel anxious about something, I tell myself to actually do it. So
Yeah.
like if I'm like if it gets me like worried or whatever, I'm like, you know what, just do it because going out of your comfort zone, like you always see such greater results.
It's just what you got to do. And I feel like also like a lot of people like you get more anxious in your environment that's not good for you. Like I think people need to look at like obviously not every anxiety or anything like that, but sometimes like you being anxious is because you're in a like environment that you shouldn't be in. Like,
Mhm. You know, no, it's true, but there's also other reasons. Like I get anxiety, but I've noticed that I have anxiety when I drink coffee. Like I think some people don't realize that they're more susceptible to like caffeine than other people. And like most people are coffee drinkers and like they don't think anything of it.
yeah,
But the second that I like pull back from that, or even like smoking nicotine, like I've done that before, and like yeah, it's just it gets you more anxious, and then it's not good.
I feel like it's weird you said that because I used to like never get anxiety ever. Like nothing would get me anxious. and then I started smoking weed, and
Yeah.
like I would have like some bad times, obviously like
Smoking always says that to me.
too much edibles or something, and like it like almost activated like my anxious feeling. Like, and now like I mean I don't smoke anymore, but like I feel that more now. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like you said, or like with the caffeine, I almost feel like it like activated something. You
It
know what I'm saying?
activated your, like, fight or flight. Oh, that's so
Yeah.
interesting. Do you smoke or, do you drink coffee a lot?
Yeah, every day. I have an iced coffee. Now I'm like, oh God.
No, 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 no. I think it's I mean, I think it's fine. I drink coffee a lot too, but, recently my friend told me to start drinking matcha.
Oh wow.
Um, just because, yeah, like the caffeine it's within matcha, it's like it's more natural. Cause like with coffee it really spikes your cortisol levels.
Yeah.
So that's why you get that like fight or flight feeling when you drink it. And also I've noticed when I drink coffee, like I can't sleep at night. I don't know if you've noticed, like sometimes you can't sleep well, but
I actually have terrible going to sleep issues. I'm like, oh, right.
yeah, it happens to me too. But
I mean,
I
working
recently
out and stuff. Do you not drink like energy, like bangs and stuff? Like I'm also like addicted to.
so I actually used to be a band girl, ironically. Um,
Oh, bringing up the.
like 3 years ago, maybe. But yeah, I used to drink a ton of, and I even have bucked up like pre-workout here.
Yeah.
But a few weeks ago, I was like, you know what? I just want to like, reel it back in a little bit because I feel like I've been noticing that like my anxiety has gone up.
Mhm.
And I felt great. Like I feel like I definitely would say I've noticed a difference in my energy too. Cause like I feel like when I drink too much caffeine consecutively, I have lower energy and I like can't sleep at night.
You're literally like, is this a therapist? Like, calling her,
I
like,
know.
yeah.
Therapy session.
Hey, I'm like so tired. I'm like, oh, I need something caffeine. Like, well,
That's
I know what I'm not doing tomorrow, and I'm
that's so funny. Well, try matcha. Yeah, one of my friends, she swears by it. And she said that she's had like more energy now than she ever has, like with coffee.
right,
So
matcha. Here I come.
let me know what you think.
Have you one thing I hate of like being in the music stuff is like, and I want to know if you've like done this yet. There's a lot of people like that you'll meet that you like love their music and then you hate them. Like they're just like not good people, and you're like, wow, that ruined this like ruined the music for
Yeah.
being not great vibes, and that ruins the
Not
music.
who they you know
Yeah,
what? It's I've seen it both ways, right? Like I've seen it like either I'm like, okay, I don't really like them as much.
yeah,
But I've also seen something else where like when I get to know them as a person, let's say they're depressed or like whatever it is, like I can actually see that through their music more after.
yeah,
Like super weird. Like I'm like, okay, wow, I now I have like a whole nother perspective on your music that like I didn't think about it that way before. But now that I like have seen these like different parts of you, like whether you're depressed, whatever, like I can like literally hear it in the tones of the music.
yeah.
It's really
That's
interesting.
yeah. No, that's sick. I feel like sometimes the opposite too. I mean, I think there's like 100 cases, but like I've seen someone that like only talks about like being depressed and like anxiety and like popping pills, but then when you're with them, they're like, "Oh, like I'm straight edge." You're like, "What?" Like,
Yeah, you're like, what? Where did this all come from? Yeah, well,
yeah,
the same thing. Like, have you seen people that are like putting on a big front in the music industry?
only a few. I wouldn't say too many that I've met, but
Hmm.
I just one thing I've learned from the music industry is like the difference between how someone acts to you, like with how they look at your status. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll walk into someone, they're like, literally, for example, this is hilarious. Quick story, real quick. So
Yeah,
this
what is this?
this TikToker has like over 2 million followers, right?
Okay.
I'm at this, I'm at like a nightclub bar thing, right? And I see him, I go up to him, I'm like, yo, I've seen you before. And he's like, I don't know from where. And I'm like, I also have like a very like, if I've seen you once, like I'll remember you. Like I'm like very good with like faces. So I'm like, I've seen you. And he's like, don't know what from what. And I was like, you do
Oh my God, that's
like
ridiculous.
you do like music or anything, like anything like that. I was like, here's me. I showed him like my IG real quick. He's like, nah. And he was like, what do you do? And I was like, oh, I'm like like a rap singer, pop guy or whatever. Like, I don't even know how to categorize myself, but he's like, oh, and then instantly he like starts filming, right? He has like a camera guy with him. He's like, you spit, go ahead and spit. Like, go ahead right now, like go ahead and spit something. I'm like, nah, like I'm not that type of like guy. Like, I don't need to spit for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not doing that. And he's like, oh, you saying you're a rapper, but you can't even spit right now. And he was like, fuck out of here, bro. And I was like, okay.
Oh
So funny.
my
So
God.
flash forward 3 months, I'm performing at the festival, right? The Breakway Festival. And I jump off stage, just performed in front of like 25,000 people, right? Jump off, I go to like the artist lounge and he's in there. And so people are like dapping me up, like, oh my God, like great job, great job. And like he's right there. And I look at him because again, now I really knew who he was, right? And he was like, and his face was just so like, oh, I fucked up. Like just so like I fucked up so
Yeah.
bad. It was like such a funny moment. And I was just like, why? And again, that's one thing like people don't understand, just being like genuine. Doesn't matter like who someone is. Like, even if I was a nobody, like what do you be
You should
what
treat
do you
them with
think?
respect.
Yeah. So
But also, what was it for him to not even say like who he was? Like, I think that, and then like being rude, it's like, it's
yeah,
weird.
I don't know. I guess he just felt again, people think that they have a sense of like power because of like clout or something, but that stuff doesn't last. And obviously people will see like people's real self.
Right
But
through that.
yeah,
Right through that. Yeah, 100%.
you gotta treat the janitor like it's Obama. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the same thing. So I
100%.
think he learned a lesson that day, which is great. It's great for him.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, maybe he'll come back at one point and say sorry.
No, we'll never talk again. I've gotten like invited to like stuff where he's around. I'm like, nah, like just no.
Yeah. It's just like rather not. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
I just don't play like that. Like there's no reason like I don't care like who you are, like just don't it doesn't where do you get this level of like godness? Like you're like better than anyone else? Like that's just not for me. Like
yeah, I know.
nice. Be nice.
And there's way too many people out there like that.
Yeah.
And there's
Especially,
also different people,
especially
but
these TikTok people. They think their TikTok cloud is
yeah. It
everything.
happens on Instagram too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. All these influencers, and I bet you know, even in like the working out world, people are like,
Oh my God. It's like if
don't
you're
talk to me.
super big or like you're really
Yeah.
jacked, it's like, oh my God, I'm like the shit. Yeah, I can't. I really
Too
can't.
jacked to talk to you right now. Chill.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, I actually went on this. It's funny. I mean, I went on this cruise one time and it was like literally a gym. It was like for a fitness cruise.
Yeah.
And we went around, like we left from Miami and there was like on the top of the boat, they had like all like rowing machines and like there was like workouts going on all the time. And it was fun, but like I was invited, I guess, as like content creator, influencer, whatever.
Yeah.
And people that were on there as well, like everyone was really nice, but I don't know, it's like everyone's like all like the gym bros and like I love working out, don't get me wrong, but like there's a certain point where I was like, all right, like I'm a little over this. Like so
In their own head. I don't get it. But
yeah.
I was really like taught off the golden rule, you know, treat people how you want to be treated. And I don't understand why people don't think like that. But
No, you know what it is? I think at a certain point it just gets to your head.
yeah,
But yeah,
it was great. I loved it.
it was great too. It was great too. This is awesome.
Welcome to the Ash X podcast.